folks. I'm inside out of the wind today. It's awful windy. It's blowing 35, 40 mile an hour gusts. And we got 3 or 4 inches of fluffy snow yesterday and over the night. So that wind just blowing that snow everywhere. So I got up bright and early and did my chores. Topped off my wood box here. And I'm getting an awful habit of going to bed fairly early and then waking up at 2 o'clock. So, makes for long days, folks. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking out my 4 big windows, and it's kind of bright coming in, so I apologize. I really can't look up at the camera there. I'm going to have to look down so I don't get eye strain because it's so bright out there. So, you know when you just feel like you have to get the word out? No matter what word, whatever word speaks to you, right? Well, my word has been for a while now to try to get people to see where we're going, because it's pretty ugly out there, right? Who knows what's happening over in the Middle East right now? We don't know what's happening. We don't have any control over that. And I know I've said that before. So we need to do here. We need to do for ourselves, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do for myself, and I'm trying to wake people up. Now, not everybody likes to talk about and hear about prepping all the time. I get that. I'm tired of talking about prepping too. So, there's many ways to prep, folks, right? You know, a few people said, I like you. These are people in my personal life. Okay, I had a conversation with somebody last night that I was awful disappointed. Because the first few videos I shared on my Facebook page, right? And then I got so tired of Facebook that I'm over Facebook. But I was able to get on. Somebody sent me to answer a question on a homesteading page. And I was able to get on Facebook, and I looked up where that question was, and I answered it because I felt I had a decent answer with experience on how I live here. So while I was on Facebook, I just started scrolling, seeing if I was missing anything from family and friends. I guess I haven't missed much. Still a lot of drama out there. I don't do well with drama in my life. I don't like drama. So, when I responded to this inquiry on one of these homesteading sites, this person reached out to me. And she said, "Where the heck you been? Haven't seen you. I said, "No, kind of doing the homesteading thing, trying to do my thing with YouTube." And she goes, "Well, I saw one of those first videos you put out." She goes, "And I went back a little while later, and you were standing out in a snowbank. Snow coming down all around you." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "How come you're not in? Put a skirt on." Put a skirt on. Do your hair up. Go in and sit by the fire with a cup of coffee and talk to people that way. Well, I asked why they thought I should do that. Well, you know, it beats standing out in the snow and the rain and the wind and the cold. I said, yeah, it does. It does, but if I'm going to be talking about homesteading, you know, I could be an armchair homesteader. I could talk every day in a skirt, nice shirt, hair all done up, cup of coffee. I could do that. But if you're not showing that you are a true homesteader, and you're only talking about it, then I don't think that's really getting the whole gist of it out there. You know, and I spend quite a bit of time outside, right? I'm 56 years old, and I'm pretty weathered. And in the summertime, I'll have this tan like you wouldn't believe. And I'll have squint lines. And in the winter, I'll have wind and cold skin. You know, it just, you know, somebody that's been outside for a long time in all types of weather, you know how they look a little older? They look weathered, right? That's the word, weathered. They look weathered. Well, I look weathered, folks. And looking weathered to me is you're doing something. You're not sitting in by the fire every day and talking about homesteading. You're out there, actual homesteading. You're out there in the elements. Now, I know I throw in prepper this and prepper that, and I know I do because I feel that's important. I do. I feel that's important. But some people want fluff. Some people want fluff. So I encourage them, if they want fluff, maybe they could, you know, put a skirt on. Done did the hair up, as one of my friends says. Put their makeup on, grab a cup of coffee, grab their rocker, and sit in front of their old wood stove, right? They could do that. They could do that. And they could talk about anything they wanted. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, folks. But life isn't fluffy right now. It's looking pretty serious. And these people that have their head stuck in the sand, you know, I'll worry about that when it gets a little bit worse. Well, they've been saying that for 2 years now. Well, when it gets worse, I'll start doing something about it. Until then, I'm not going to worry about it. Well, in 2 years, it's gotten worse, but it's not bad enough yet to worry about it. So I said, when do you feel that it's too bad? At what point? Where is your line when you say, okay, it's too bad, now I have to do something? Where is that line for you? Well, when things get real bad. Real bad. Well, that might be too late. That might be too late. You know, for those people who are waking up and putting the scramble on, they're finding that stocking up isn't as easy as everybody made it sound. Okay? If you're making it sound like it's easy to prep, and you're giving false information because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work prepping. It's a lot of work being a practical prepper. That's what I am, a practical prepper. It's still a lot of work. It takes time. But you're not going to tell people. You're just not going to tell certain people. Now, and I apologize, I'm squinting and looking down because it's really bright out. You know, I don't think a lot of people have felt true hunger in this country? You know, hunger for some people is being late for lunch, right? An hour late for lunch or skipping lunch. That's hunger to them. But back when I had my stomach issues, and I couldn't keep anything down, even water, I had food, I couldn't eat it. It just wouldn't stay down. And when that belly button touches your backbone, that's hunger, folks. Until you feel that hunger, when you feel that hunger, it's already too late to start prepping. People don't realize what people will do to feed that belly. When you are so hungry, you will do anything for something to eat. You know, I think that's where part of the problem is. People haven't gone hungry. And I'm glad they haven't, okay? I'm glad they haven't gone hungry. But it also, they don't understand what it feels like to be hungry. Truly, truly hungry. I mean, not being able to eat for a few days. A week, 2 weeks. And when they finally get to that point, it's going to be too late. But you cannot tell them. You cannot tell them. Now, I realize I talk a lot about prepping. And I've been doing that. It's not new to me, folks. Being on YouTube is new to me. But talking about prepping to people is not new to me. But even I'm getting tired of talking about prepping. I am. But I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop, folks. I don't know how to wake people up. You know, like this person said last night, well, maybe if you had a skirt on, a nice shirt, and your hair all done did up, sitting in front of your fire in a rocking chair, maybe people will listen more versus being outside and hollering over the geese and hollering over the rooster and being out in the wind. And make it more civilized. I think that's the word they said. Make it more civilized, more inviting. If by being an armchair homesteader is more inviting to some people, then they're in trouble. They're in trouble, folks. Because a true homesteader, a true off-gridder, especially one that lives like I do without running water or power and all of that, right? We don't go around in dresses. We don't go around in high heels. It's pretty hard to go out all dolled up like you're going to a conference meeting and cull a bird. Dress off a bird. Haul wood. Some people need a reality check, folks. They just need a reality check. Now, a lot of you come here and the comments are super nice, folks. And I think if it weren't for those nice comments, I think I would have given up, honestly. It's an awful uphill climb, folks. But I'd rather be out in the elements. And I don't know where I was going with that. I'm not an armchair homesteader, folks. I'm not an armchair off-gridder. I keep it real. I bring you along with me, and there's so much more I'm going to show you. When I ever get out into my garden, when I can get into my compost, when I can walk through the woods without snowshoes on, there's a lot I'm going to show you. And I probably won't be in a dress and high heels, folks. I'll probably have a bandana on. Because it keeps the scragglies out of my face, right? I'm not trying to hide my gray hair. I'm not trying to hide my weathered face and wrinkles. I'm not trying to do that, folks. Some people live in a fantasy. They live in make-believe. Reality is too overwhelming, so they're gonna make-believe, pretend, ignore it's happening. And when their belly button touches that backbone, they're gonna wish they had done something different. You know, I was brought up a country girl. All three of us girls were brought up country. We lived without running water. We hauled out water. We had a huge garden. We were out there at a very young age, collecting eggs, picking weeds, planting the garden, watering the garden, collecting the produce. We was out in deep, deep snow, collecting sap from the maple trees to boil down. And the trees weren't right in the yard. There was 2 big maples in the yard, which helped, but there was a big maple across the road. And that was hard to get to, folks. But us kids did it. Every day we went out and collected the sap, sometimes twice a day. Brought it back. So us girls, we were brought up this way. In many ways, that's all we know. It gave us a very strong work ethic. All us girls have strong, strong work ethics. We're workaholics one way or the other. And we can survive. We were taught how to hunt. We were taught how to forage. We were taught how to find our way back in the woods if we got turned around. We knew how, if we got stuck out in the woods after dark, we knew how to find our way home. We knew how to survive. Our parents taught us how to survive. We will survive. If things ever got bad, folks, because we don't know what's happening out in the Middle East, right? Starts in one spot and it just spreads. We're going to have to do better, folks. And I know I'm probably preaching to the choir, but somebody made a good comment. I stopped talking about prepping because when I do that, other people will know that I've probably got preps. And you know, that's a new angle. I never ever thought about that. That never crossed my mind at all. So thank you very much for saying that. So what do you do, folks? Seriously, what do you do? You try to wake people up without giving yourself away. Right? They keep talking to me about prepping. So I know where I can find food if I need it. I'm afraid things get worse. It's going to get real ugly, folks. It's going to get real ugly. By the way, folks, I subscribers. And I finally looked at my my watch hours. Looks like I've been over 4,000 watch hours for a little bit now. So if I can get 200 more subscribers, I might be able to monetize, folks. Imagine that. Imagine that. Hippie chick standing out in her woodshed. Might be able to monetize. Never thought that might happen. So if you like this content, you like someone that might like this content, why don't you share it so I can get up to 1,000 subscribers? That'd be really nice. That'd be really nice. You know, I never thought in a million years that my opinion might be worth something. Never in a million years. Now, I don't know if it's... You know, there's not much support in the prepper community. And I'm not talking about on the global aspect, because I know there's a lot of people out there that think the way I do. And you do. But there's not much support on the home front. And I'm talking about close family and friends. If they watch my YouTubes, they don't comment, they don't like, they watch. They don't say they like or dislike. So not much support. They could be watching. They could be watching. They could be watching just to laugh, right? My ex-co-workers think I've absolutely gone insane. They think I've gone insane. You need to go back to work. You've gone a little crazy. You need to get out amongst people. You're talking to the woodpile. So I hear that an awful lot. But I don't hear, good job. Thank you. So in that sense, I guess a lot of us preppers are a little lonely in that sense. Not many people talking about prepping, right? A lot of people don't dare to talk about prepping. It might give themselves away. They might get laughed at. You might be the butt end of a joke. I don't want to get laughed at. I don't want people thinking I have food. So how do you get the word out? How do you do that? Without giving yourself away. Without being laughed at, judged, ridiculed. You got to be more like this channel. They wear a dress and sit in front of their fire in a rocking chair. Talking about what you should do. Not doing, not showing, just talking. Be more like that person. You know, the armchair homesteader. Yeah, it could get awful lonely in the prepper world, folks. Whether you're a doomsday prepper or whether you're a practical prepper. Anything in between. So, I guess. Thank you for coming. For those of you who follow me on a daily basis, thank you very much. Thanks for coming back. Any of your new subscribers, thank you very much for being here. All comments are welcome as long as they're kept civil. If you're a new subscriber, I'd like to let you know that you usually don't see this setup here. I'm usually outside in the elements. So this is a little different today. But welcome. Welcome very much. Thank you very much. Welcome.